Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has concluded his visit to Qatar to negotiate a free trade agreement and expand investments from Qatar into India. Joining us right now is India's ambassador to Qatar, Ambassador Vipul. Ambassador Vipul, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
The minister has sent out a very positive message to Indian businesses, the Indian community, and even the Qatari leadership about our commitment to the FTA. Could you give us a sense of what India has put on the table in terms of what we want?
Well, I think it's been a wonderful visit, number one, of Honorable Commerce and Industries Minister. And the Qatari leadership has really welcomed him with full honors. He has met the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Qatar, as well as his counterpart, Minister of Commerce and Industry. He's met a range of Qatari businessmen, as well as CEOs of various Qatari entities. As you said, FTA was one part of the discussions, but I think overall, the discussion revolved around enhancing our trade and investment partnership between both our countries. And that flowed from the state visit of His Highness the Amir of Qatar to India in February 2025, when he met Honorable Prime Minister. And at that time, both sides had decided that we will expand our trade and double it by 2030. And also that there will be almost $10 billion of QIA investment in India. And QIA will look at opening an office in India. So I think in all these things, there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of forward movement during CIM's visit. And we will see the results in the months to come. Right. There was great commitment on the part of the Qatari leadership to move forward on all these issues.
I would like to ask you, when it comes to expanding investments, so in the last 24, 25 years, there have been around $3 to $4 billion in investments. The Qatari Emir has said that we are looking at investing $10 billion in India. Yeah. Which are the areas where you are seeking investments in an accelerated manner?
Well, there are a number of sectors. I think there is great realization on the part of Qatari leadership as well that there are great opportunities for investments in India. The returns are wonderful with the expanding economy of India. So there are a lot of sectors, whether it be infrastructure, whether it be renewable energy, whether it is startups, tech, healthcare. There are many sectors that they are also interested in, and they keep analyzing projects in all these sectors. So in fact, in end August, we had a large delegation from Qatar which had visited India. It was led by their Minister of State for Foreign Trade and included a variety of a large number of government entities as well as businesses and Qatar Investment Authority. A number of projects were presented to them at that time. A number of sectors and what is happening in the Indian economy. They were very encouraged, especially by the startup session. So that would be certainly one aspect of it. I think they are very enthusiastic about the Indian economy and making more investments in India.
Right. I would also like to ask you that in terms of expanding the UPI partnership, we've launched the UPI here in Qatar. It has been launched at the Lulu Mall. There is a tie-up with the Qatar Development Bank. Qatar National Bank.
National Bank.
What would be the idea in terms of expanding this nationwide and maybe with more banks?
Yes. So NPCI or NIPL, they are already in touch with other banks in Qatar. So the effort is to onboard more Qatari banks. I think with Qatar National Bank, they've already covered almost 50 to 70% of the Qatari market. But they've also signed an agreement, for example, with the Commercial Bank of Qatar already. And they should be onboarding of other banks as well. So we will see as to how we can further expand this. But it's been a wonderful experience and initiative that CIM was here to launch the UPI, and it will definitely be helpful to the more than 8 lakh Indians who are living in Qatar, and a lot of travelers from Qatar who visit Qatar or transit Qatar. So that's a great development in our relationship, and we'll try and further develop it.
So this will be open for both Qatari nationals and Indian nationals?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I would also like to ask you, sir, in terms of projects in third countries, a lot of the Qatari businessmen we spoke to, they said that we're not just looking at India-Qatar partnership, we're looking at trade with third countries together. What kind of projects are we looking to undertake?
Well, I think it will depend on private sector, but one thing which is there for sure is that Qatari business and Qatar itself is very, very active. They have relationships in many countries, and they sit as a kind of a hub in this region. So they have relationships across geographies, whether it be in Africa, whether it be in Central Asia, of course in the Middle East. And I think there should be opportunities which will need to be explored by the private sector as to what they can do together with Qatari businesses and go and explore other markets as well.
Finally, there's a lot of talk, and we've been reading reports that there could be a Schengen-style visa that GCC could come up with. Have you heard those reports? Have you been given any kind of indication by Gulf authorities, by Qatari authorities, that something like this may be in the offing?
Well, I look at Qatar, and in Qatar we have visa on arrival for Indians, and overall, I think in terms of Indian businesses, Indian travelers, tourists to visit Qatar, there is no problem in terms of visas. And of course, as I said, there are 8 lakh Indians who live in Qatar, and a lot of Indians who are in the region who also keep traveling to Qatar. So by and large, there is no problem in terms of mobility of Indians who are coming here for short-term purposes. And I'm sure that that will continue to be there.
Finally, sir, if you had to sum up what we are trying to do with Qatar in terms of a long-term political and strategic partnership, how would you sum that up?
We have a strategic partnership now. That agreement was signed when His Highness the Emir had visited on a state visit to India in February. And it has different components. Of course, trade, investment, political relations, people-to-people relations, cultural relations. It's a historic partnership, and with the strategic partnership that we have in place now, the effort is to take the relationship to a very high level. And I think the visit of CIM once again showed that there is great commitment on the part of both countries to take this forward. There would be a number of things, including on investments, and as governments, how both governments can support this initiative on trade, investment, energy, culture, people-to-people ties, and I think we will see great results in the future.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.